gun. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Why am I slowed? Why am I slowed? Let me go. Let me go. Let me run. I was not expecting that. Holy shit. Oh my god. Hold on. Hold on. I have to go back and say hi to everybody. I can't fucking breathe right now. Hi Missy. Hi Poppy. Hi JC. Jay, thank you for the follow. Oh my god. Kifa, hi Kifa, thank you for the follow. What is all this stuff? Oh my god. Where's that crest? Punch each other. Bitch. What is he hitting me with that he just like literally just fucking landed on me and killed me? But thank you so much for the raid. Thank you everybody that's hanging, trying to make my little dream come true here. I really appreciate it. Let's change it. Oh, nope. Come out. Stupid. Stupida! Not down by the dock. Where are you? Oh. Girls, your lingerie, because that ain't gonna do nothing for me. You are not getting any hanky-panky from me. None. Where is she? Dude, if I get killed by her. But I hope you're having fun with Super Vibe. I don't wanna interrupt your game. Last time I stood there playing chicken with the bot, and then I got killed from behind. So let's not do that this time. There's somebody else here.
I've got the converter.
Wait, did I just hit somebody?
Looks on your face, honey.
Where did you go? Where did you go? Fuck. Oh. Oh, stupida! Learn how to fight too, right? Naturally. You will spend your days training and studying, but most importantly, sewing. Sewing? Oh my god. The people that are following you for a reason. They support you through the mess ups, through the messiness. Like, just go and just stream, just get it, do it. Like, stop being so anxious about it. So I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you guys have been doing. And I appreciate you bringing over your community over here. To return it, simply go to Exo and speak this one's name, which is X-Doll. Cool. Oh. Well, I suppose we will be seeing each other for a while. Oh my god. That was crazy. Oh. Okay, get inside, get inside, get inside.
Run.
Can I shoot it? Oh shit. My dog just scared the shit out of me. Because he's over here and he just like, he heard me jump and he's like, what are you doing? Oh my god. That was intense. I don't think I made it more intense by playing that music or that sound. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, let me tell you, I don't know why I just jumped at that moment. It just felt like the right time, and I just really wasn't, because this literally has no strategy, honey babushka. I don't, oh, gosh darn it. No. Oh no. Nope, 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 nope. What the fuck? Okay. Bye, bitch. Bye. Mind your business. Mind your business. Oh. Mind your business. Keep it moving. Oh shit. Oh.
This is barely a workout.
That was fun. Oh shit, somebody's already here. Oh shit. Bitch. See, this is what happens. I'm just trying to do the fucking story. Let me do the story and you won't get your ass whipped. This is what happens. Don't touch me. Dude came up behind me, still did no damage. Oh. Did y'all see that? I was just a tornado of gain. Shit. Oh.
You better kill it!
You just scared the fucking shit out of me. Hey, 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 hey. I can't fucking breathe. I can't fucking breathe. Holy shit, hi Kifa. Oh my god. Holy shit, I can't fucking breathe. Oh my fucking god, high space. Oh my fucking god. I can't fucking breathe right now. I was not expecting that. Holy shit. Oh my god, hold on, hold on. I have to go back and say hi to everybody. Oh. That makes, oh. No. Nope. Ooh. Not the fucking birds. How are we doing today? What am I doing right now? Of course, birds were attack. There we go. I changed some settings on my cameras like 2 minutes before I got in here, and now I look like the Kool-Aid man. A little too something, too saturated, too something, but it's okay. Hope everybody's doing well today. It is Thursday. Unfortunately, I did not get to hump you on hump day. I apologize. I was knocked the fuck out. I worked all day and then I didn't eat until dinner and then I overate. And it felt like I was literally just getting the heat wave by myself. So that was yesterday and I could not wake up from it. I felt so exhausted the whole night. Yeah, I still stood up to 2:30 in the morning playing Final Fantasy 14. And I am proud to say that today I finally finished Dragon Song War. The expansion to the expansion of Heaven's Word. And now I'm on the second part of the expansion before I can finally fucking play Stormblood. Yeah, so I've been like super focused on that because I want to get through it. My friends are like, oh, this one's boring. And I think the beginning of Heaven's Word was pretty boring, but I think the whole dragon saga was very interesting. And I like all the intrigue that's been happening. So I heard Stormblood is really good, so they better bring the soap opera because that's what I want. What else happens to me this week? It's Thursday. Just gotta make it through tomorrow. Then we get our weekend that we deserve. Should be having 3-day weekends, but no. We only get 2-day workends because of corporate greed. What else have I been doing? I've been literally doing nothing. I worked on a new overlay, which I don't know if I fully am there with it yet. I like it, but I don't know if it's too much, if I need to like be a little bit more subtle with it. What else did I do? I need to start working on my panels. I've had no motivation this whole week to do anything, so I've been being extremely lazy. I need to be working on stuff for the stream. I need to be working on my training for work. I haven't done my training in like a week and a half. My dog has been driving me a little nuts lately. I don't know what's going on with him. Right now he starts walking extremely slow when it's time to go back home, because he knows when it's time to go back home and he doesn't want to go home. He wants to be outside all the time, but he can only be outside for like 2 blocks, they said, for the next 2 weeks. And I feel bad, but it's extremely hot for him to be outside, so I'm just like, just come inside. You did what you needed to do. You did your business. Let's go. So then he like fought me 2 days with the medicines, and I had to go buy a pill cutter, and I've been like cutting the hell out of his medicine and hiding it in his food so he eats it, because I don't need to be dealing with that shit. The way that my own bot scares the shit out of me every single time. Yeah, work's been okay, I would say. It could be worse, but it's been a lot better. I've gone from having like over 60 tickets in my queue, that's too much for me. That gives me anxiety. It makes me feel overwhelmed. It makes me feel like I'm missing something. It makes me feel like I'm not giving good customer service to any of my tickets when I have that many tickets. So I got them finally down until today, because, people don't want to talk or answer their damn tickets. And they get it below 40 tickets, that means I'm putting in the work, bitch. What else did I do? If you were here last stream, we beat Little Nightmares 2. So now I'm trying to beat this one. I just noticed that this says that I don't know which one. Oh, I thought I was further through. This only says I'm 25% through. I only saw 3 places, so I thought I would be at least 33% through. So want to get through some of this game today. I did want to try to beat this game this week, but who knows? I want to start Limbo. I need to start some of the games that are on my Game Pass because, girl, they're playing themselves with these prices right now. Like, everybody and their grandmother wants to be raising subscription prices. Ain't nobody got money for it. Like, what are you not getting? And if we don't have the money for it, we're canceling our subscription. So, what would you like to do? What would you like to do? Give us more money. What else happened this week? My friend offered me a really cool statue, which I would have to pay for, but I could do it in monthly payments. But it's like Captain America standing on a rock with his shield, but with Thor's hammer by his foot. I love Captain America, so I need to see what price he's giving it for. And then that might be hanging out somewhere over here. I just realized you can't see my freaking my Dark Phoenix anymore. But anyway, we're gonna get into the game because yeah, I'm feeling tired right now, but I know that what happened last night, I did not fall asleep till like 4 o'clock last night. So, and that's because I took a little nap last night. And by little, I mean like a 40-minute nap at like, I don't know, 7:38. So I played myself. Today I only took a 15-minute nap. And then when I felt myself getting tired again, I picked myself up and made myself go do some little dancey dance moves. So let me move this over because I cannot share.
EA Originals.
Also, EA, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? There's a lot of people pissed off about this, which I'm kind of annoyed about. I haven't even started the game and I was gonna play it. I don't even know where I am. I was gonna start the game, but now, I mean, I wasn't gonna necessarily get the battle pass, but I'm like, is it about to be a dead game because everybody's so pissed off about what they're doing to the battle pass for the battle pass for, I don't even know where I need to go. I think I need to keep going straight forward. The battle pass for Apex Legends. Is this about to be a battle? Shit. Oh shit, no, oh. Oh my god, I need to heal, shit. Holy shit. I forgot all the controls, that's why I cannot not play a game for too long, because then I don't know what I'm doing. Oops, okay. Oop, I need to heal again. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. Is there more? Holy shit. This is what happens when you play a game for too. I haven't played a game for too long. Where is this map? Okay. I think that I went down here and I needed to get some sort of key to drop a bridge. So then I had to come back all the way this way, and now I need to go up here because I need to get to this orange thing anyway. Hornblow. What is that? What art thou?
The same distress horn. The same distress horn. We must be getting closer. Past the gate.
ZAU, I do not hear this horn. Are you sure?
Past this gate. We need to open this gate.
Okay. Can I go past here? Press R to interact. Ugh, I totally don't remember where I am for this game. Hold on. Okay, this is the gate where... I don't know if I've actually been over here yet. I feel like I've been over here. I feel like I need to come up here. I guess we're gonna go down. We'll go to this side first and then we'll go to the other side. Also, let me change this. Where am I? Okay. What is that? I think there might be something up there. No? Okay, this is just where I came from. I don't remember the obstacles in this place. Hi, biatch. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go to the big space first. I could have sworn that last time I had the keys. Okay, girl, I got this. Okay. Now there's an underneath and there's an up top.
The fast key. The fast key.
Oh, I think I need to go all the way underneath to get there. Okay. Okay, that was one of the things. Oops. Okay. Okay, so whip that ass. Is there something over there? Oh. Wait. Oh, there's something in here. Okay, it's the echo. Let's get the echo. Maybe I didn't come over here.
The boy lost himself in the moment as he wreathed and flowed, dancing with the power of the ancestors in his heart.
Ooh. Oh. Wow. Oh, I should have busted him into that again. Ooh, this is gonna be really long. Ooh. Girl, I still did it. And I got that key sign. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be harder now. Okay, we got this, we got this, we can do this. Boom. Okay. Boom. Hold on, where am I? So now I need to go This way, I think I need to go up here. I think I went all the way over here, but I can't remember. I really sworn I could have unlocked this door already. Okay, what is over here? I hear something. Okay, it's not where I wanted to go to. Oops. Hold on, let's see. If I go this way, I can get up there. I feel like I need to check this place out and this place out. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there's a key over there. But what is all this other stuff?
And there, the second key.
Hold on. I want to see what's up in here. There's probably another echo in here. What is happening? Okay. What do I need you for? Am I just using you to push you? What do I need you for though? Where's my map? Maybe I need it for that.
Stench of decay strengthens the deeper we go.
It even permeates my form. The spirits here must be suffering deeply.
What happened here? What happened here?
Let's not let it get smashed by the rock because I don't know if it will actually get smashed by the rock. Wait, what just happened? Oh, I still can't get in there? Okay. Wait, where did I come from? Came from over here. I need to get up here and I need to check in there, so I'm gonna go down first. What is over here? Oh, I almost missed that. Nope. Oh. I cannot remember the fucking controls for the life of me. Okay, so I want to go this way. It's a little too quiet. What does this triangle mean? Okay, it's another save point. Oh. Oh. Okay, okay, let's calm it down. What is this? There's a whole bunch of stuff I need to find, so I need to go all the way in. I need to figure out how to get back up here and go this way, I guess, because I don't know how to open that door. Or maybe that box that I dropped over here needs to come over here. I don't know, but we gotta check out. Oh! Okay. Is it? Nope, there's nothing over there. Okay, 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 okay. Oops. Okay, let's go. Try that again. Okay, what the fuck is that timing? Okay, come on. Whoop. Okay, let's figure out this timing. Damn it. Try to do slide through, that did not work. Okay. Okay. Come on. Figure out this fucking timing, because it's a weird timing. Like, those things are still... Oh, no, no. Oh, shit, I almost had it. I shouldn't have fucking slid again. Can I crouch? No. Oops, that was stupid. That was stupid. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, nope. You're not gonna catch me, ho. Not gonna catch me. Damn it. Oh.
Emotional damage.
Okay, there we go. Okay, we got our little thing back in. I love the way this person looks. I feel like I need to do 2 slides. There we go. Shit, bitch. Where are these? Okay. Damn. Damn. That shit was moving real fast. Oh shit. Oh. Shit. Not me falling off like that. Damn it. Please let me get stuck there. Oh, oh. And I almost got knocked the fuck out just now. Damn it. Come on. Okay, we know the thing. Hi, J Miller. How are you? You just woke up. What time is it over there? We have such crazy schedules. Holy shit. $6:05 in the morning? Oh, that is so early. That's crazy. How are you doing today? Besides just waking up, what is happening right now? Okay, there's a whole bunch of boxes up here. What is that? Oh, there's a whole bunch of these. How's Ghost of Tsushima? I saw that you started that the other day. Holy shit. Can't believe I did that in one try. Oh my god, I'm amazing. Holy shit. I'm surprised I got through that in one try. What did I come up here for? Okay. Prosperous mind. Is there anything over in this side? No. Is that all that I came up here for? How do I get over here?
This is the part where you say,
Exactly.
your dog performing tricks. Is it every obstacle that I will be shouting your praises? It's not like I'm asking for a statue. Let us keep moving. Let us keep moving.
I'm finding it a bit difficult, but I'll get used to it. It's an amazing game though. What are you finding difficult about it? I only played up to like that first like major cutscene and then I haven't picked it up again just because other things are out. Boom. I'm dying a lot in combat. I can see that. I feel like I'm gonna do the exact same thing. How do I get in there? Oh, what is this? I feel like the same thing is gonna happen with me. I think you'll get it. I'm not used to playing a game with like swords, I guess. Oh shoot, what is happening right now? There you go. Where did the other guy go? Oh shit. Oh, did not mean to do that. Oh shit. Oh shit. Holy shit, there's a lot of people here. Oh shit. Shit. Oh, did I just die? Shit. Shit. It's also totally different to Red Dead Redemption 2, so I just need to get used to it. Yeah, I feel that. So I don't think there's... I don't think there's like guns in that game. What the fuck? Shit. Shit. Holy shit. Oh my god. Come on. Okay, there we go. Alright, I have to start getting ready. I'll try to pop back in a while. No worries. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day. Okay. Where's the other one? Is there one more? Or am I done? Am I getting something out of this, or did I just have to fight? I think I just had to fight. Okay, so I got the 2 keys. Where do I need to go for this key? Up here. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Boom, boom. Is this the door? Okay, here we go. Is it saving? Save? Yes, thank you. So I need to get up here, but I need to go into this place first. And then I gotta come back. Okay.
The horn again. The horn again.
Yes. Yes. I heard it.
Oh, this time. No. Boom. This has been a long time since I played this type of game. Wait. No, I need to go this way. Okay, you tried it. Yeah, I tried it. I think there's one at the bottom too. Okay, anytime. I hear something down here. Oh. What am I trying to get to over here? Oh, I cannot believe I made that without hurting myself. Let's make sure. Is there something over here? No, this is just spikes. Okay, let's do the tree. Holy crap.
So quiet. The strange to be able to hear my thoughts clearly, you know.
Silence can often pierce even the thickest fog of the mind.
I do not often like silence. When Baba first became ill, our home was anything but silent. People from all over Amandla came to visit. So many people. Every hour of the day, laughing and crying and praying. I knew Baba was getting tired, but he just never said anything. Never told them politely to go. In those moments, all I wanted was for them to leave. I feel terrible saying it, but I just wanted to be with my Baba, alone. Then they left, and they never came back. What a fool I was. Chasing that silence, then praying for the silence to leave.
Oh yeah, health increase. Yosh. Okay, now I need to go back up this way. Oh shit. Knew that was too good to be true that I would get that. Oh shit. Okay, we did it. We did that. Okay, I tried it. Okay, now I need to go straight. Ooh, yeah, trying it with this? Yeah, really trying me. Holy shit, yeah, really. See, I got through the first one really good. That was stupid. Okay. Holy shit. Shit takes away so much of my health. Gosh darn it. Okay. I need to go this way and up. Oh, this is a slow one. Why is it slow though? I don't know about that. Knew it. Shit. Shits. Just keep jumping. Okay. Come on, we got it. Okay, here we go. One down. Why am I stuck like that? Oh shit. Almost. Did I get them all? Did I get them all? ZAU's really trying me there. Okay. Okay. What are you? What is that? Okay, let's go the way we need to go though. Okay, so we need to get to this orange. Oh, there's so much stuff up here. Like how big this place is. I knew that was gonna happen. Okay. Oh. Oh shit, I almost fell right on that. I still did it. I still did it. Okay. At least it didn't start me that far back. So I think I only need to do a double jump, no dash. Oh. And I died. Damn it. Oh. Shit. I literally almost died again. Shit. Oh, fuck. Fuck! Just trying to aim it. I keep forgetting that first platform is spikes. Didn't even jump. Why am I not jumping? And I almost fell down again. Shit. Oh my god. Okay. I need to plan that better. Okay. Oh my god, I totally landed on it and fell off. Like, that is a bullshittery. Oh my god, I literally jumped right into them. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. Shit, I almost fell off again. Shit, I almost fell off again. No. Oh my god, that was stupid. Oh my god, what am I doing? Come on. Figure it out. No. Oh my god, I almost fell off again. Come on. How do I keep getting hit by that? Oh my god! Fuck. Come on. Oh shit, I almost fell off again. Oh my god, the way that I keep getting hit by that shit every fucking... Oh my fucking god! Hello, King. How are you? Oh my fucking god. How are you doing today? What are you up to? Holy shit, hi Pound. How are you doing today? Oh shit. How's the pat? Where you pat? Oh. Chillin'. I was working while eating a late dinner. What did you have for dinner? Also, I think you said you were packing. How did that go? Shit. Oh my god. And I'm dead. And I'm dead. You guys have any cool plans for the weekend? Oh my god, packing was so busy, but I got a lot done. What are you packing for, if you don't mind me asking? Boom. Bye. Let's see if I get hit. Oh, you're moving. Is this a good or a bad thing? No! Oh my god. I'm moving in with a good friend, but at the end of the month it's like 20 minutes south of where I currently live. Great. I've never had to move before, so I've only helped a friend move once. So I've never had to deal with the pressure of that. I think I'm just gonna try to stick to one side. Oh shit. Oh shit. No. Oh my lord. Well, I was laid off from my job 2 months ago, but I'm really excited to move. Moving is exhausting. Yeah, I know that you had gotten shit laid off. Oh. Yeah, I helped my friend move once, and I don't. People that move like all the time are just like, how do you do it? I feel like I could never. I have so much. I feel like I don't have that much stuff, but it really does suck. Oh, almost had it. Okay. Got it, got it, got it. Got you, I got you. Oh my lord. I've moved twice in 1 year. It was the worst. Oh my god. I've lived, but I've been at my current place for like 2 years now. I've literally lived in this apartment since I was born. And my family has had this apartment since it was basically built. So it's like a really good area. A lot of things around. I have Chinese food restaurant. I have a Domino's. I have 2 delis on each side of me. I have a park on each side of me. I have literally a city bike on each corner of me. So it's a like good spot.
We must be getting close to the source of this
And I feel like,
distress.
and it's like a good rent. Like I pay less than $1,000 for a 1-bedroom. So okay, we're here. We got here. So I don't ever plan on ever moving. Because I feel like this apartment, like I found like these old pictures of my mother, like standing in her, I want to say it's like a prom dress at like my front door, like inside the apartment. And it's like, there's so many like memories from this apartment. Like there's pictures of my grandparents here. I feel like I'd like to lose that just to, I don't know, just to move and maybe have a more modern place. It's not worth it. Oh yeah, we're getting somewhere.
Sabulana?
Oh, she looks beautiful. Look at that design.
Look at you, old friend. Still as baby-faced as ever. Wait, those are your babas,
Oh, I need to take an ad break soon. I'll take it after this.
ZAU, I am sorry.
It is fine. I am fine. I am dealing with it.
It is all we can do in a broken world. We are shamans. Healers in a land long past healing. It seems the gods have a cruel humor.
You are shivering. You are shivering.
Oh, I'm fine. Just a little cold. Just cold.
She does not look long. She does not look long
Oh.
for this world.
This land, as you have seen, is decaying. The great spirit of nature is lost, and without them, the roots have
Oh, I didn't even get to snooze that ad.
It is why I am here, to restore balance. How are your efforts, Sabulana? Let me help you.
Oh, ZAU. In truth, I did not expect anything when I blew the horn. But you being here is truly a blessing from...
Damn, she's sick.
Her spirit. ZAU, it may be time to perform your duties. Help ease her pain.
Sabulana, please, save your energy. We can talk more soon. First, tell me how I can help you.
I was collecting the ingredients for a tonic, but my condition worsened and I could not complete it. 3 ingredients remain. But ZAU, I must warn you, getting them is not easy. This forest continues to degenerate, and
The description of what the chat.
Hey, you underestimate me. Mimi si mtoto ndogo sasa.
I wonder what language that was.
ZAU, stop! Do not make me laugh.
I know, I love when it like creates a synopsis, a cliff notes for the chat.
Look, tell me what the ingredients are and where to find them.
What we require is in the treetops of the forest, in and around the village of Kivuli. The Kifo flower, found in all its elegance in the center of Kivuli. Puraha berries, lacking in the gleaming haven. And the Uongo leaf, nestled in the fluttering boughs.
Whatever it takes.
ZAU, truly, stay safe out there. The forest, it plays these tricks on the mind. These lands, they are so unstable.
Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go. Let me read this first. Meanwhile, let's catch up on chat. The chat's buzzing with good vibes as Inked Adventure greets everyone with open arms and a sprinkle of stardust. Commands are flying, follow buttons are calling, and we're all feeling a bit Gaga level cool. Evil King drops a smooth high, gorgeous and pound. Shares their moving saga from layoffs to new beginnings as his yell of resilience with the side of chicken drumsticks. New chapter, Inked fam. Ooh. Is that what I should call this? Is that what I should call this space? All right, give me 2 seconds. I need to use the bathroom and drink some water. I will be right back. Bitch. How dare you beat me on my own stream? Shit. Oh.
You better kill it! Tell me something!
You just scared the fucking shit out of me. Hey, 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 hey! 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 I can't fucking breathe. I can't fucking breathe. Holy shit, hi Kifa. Oh my god. Holy shit, I can't fucking breathe. Oh my fucking god, high space. Oh my fucking god. I can't fucking breathe right now. I was not expecting that. Holy shit. Oh my god, hold on, hold on. I have to go back and say hi to everybody.
From outside.
Oh, outside. I'm outside. Oh, what is this? Oh, that is very cool.
Can you dodge this?
Okay, we are back. Also, I forgot to give shout outs as I always do.
Hugged. Oh.
There we go.
I don't want to
Pound.
hug him. I want to toss him to the.
Oh, is it frozen? Is she
Cool.
frozen? There we go.
Bye. Bye, lame.
This is the first one. I just literally just beat the second one. Greetings, Earthlings. Pound and I, a stellar being of Simian and Blackfeet descent. Delves into the abyss of horror with Stay Out of the House and Outlast series. They've also navigated the eerie charm of Little
hugging
Nightmares and
notes
rolled
on the
out
collectibles.
with American Truck Simulator.
Not you.
That's weird. How did it... Is that your name, Leslie's intergalactic streams are a warp drive to suspense and diversity in gaming. Engage with her for a cosmic thrill. That's kind of crazy. Now following Pound, please go follow Pound and let's go.
I'm a.
I literally cannot read. Okay, there we go.
Terrible person.
Let's give one to Evil King as well. Evil King K reigns as a serene monarch of the streaming cosmos, beaming positivity and friendship across the galaxy. They've been on a quest in the Dead by Daylight universe, inching closer to a stellar 1K following. Whether it's a birthday bash or a Juneteenth jubilation, this villain's lair is where you find community and good vibes. Engage in their warp of chill vibes. Resistance is futile. There we go. Also follow Evil King. If you love horror games, these are some horror baddies that you can go follow. They're lovely people with lovely communities. Go give them a follow.
Someone clip that again.
Okay, so now we need to find all of this. Let's go to this triangle and then we gotta get up here.
My Baba would do that. Falsely act as if he was feeling better. Protect me. I guess he was trying to protect me. It felt hollow. So
Okay, so I need to go straight forward first. Then I need to go up there. I don't even know what that thing is. Also, I don't know what that is. What are you? Can I go up and around? Because it's definitely too... I'm definitely not going to get that high. I love that he used my first name. Okay, I was like really nervous. I was like, wait, how does it even know your name like that? Oops. Okay. No, that's fine. I have it in my Twitch bio. Okay. I was like, what? Where did that come from? I guess I'm gonna go up the other way. Yeah, I know some people are a little bit more nervous about it, although I also just realized that... Okay, can't get to that door just yet. That people knew my name because it was on my Twitter. And I was like, ooh. Somebody's gonna go in and steal my debt. And go ahead, find it, please.
So, listen to me. Kivuli is further up here. No time. We need to move.
ZAU, listen to me.
No time. We need to move.
Am I gonna be able to drop down? Oh my gosh. This place is massive. Not steal my debt. Can I ask what your first name is? Sure, it's Vincent. Ooh. Is that where I wanted to go? Yes, that is. What is happening? Okay. Yes, I was named.
So, wait. Her spirit is fading rapidly. She does not have long. Your time is better spent by her side than searching for these ingredients.
Are you suggesting I do nothing? Sit and watch my friend pass? One thing I know about the human
No, that is not.
With respect, Kalunga, one thing I know about the human spirit is that if there is a chance, even a shred of hope, of potentially making things better, we take it. So please, I will find these ingredients. I will save her. So please, let me do this. Then we will go back to, again, fixing the disorder you conjured by leaving a great spirit behind.
From your heart. Disorder, not your mind. You are speaking from your heart, boy, not your mind.
We need to find these ingredients. Enough, Kalunga. Please.
See, he's trying to protect him because if he doesn't save this person, he's just gonna feel that heartache that he felt from his father all over again. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I do need to do that. I was named after my father's like favorite cousin, Nature's Crown, who was who passed in a not a great way. So yeah. What are these symbols up here? Can I get up there? No, I think I gotta come back down from there. Can I break this?
Right at the top of the trees.
I forgot how I open these. Oh. Girl, you did it to yourself. Bye. He didn't even try to attack. He was done. This was his Monday. Oh. Oops, not what I meant to do. Oh yeah. Okay, holy shit. Wait, what is happening over here? Oh. Okay. What am I getting over here? Oh. Wait. Do I need to go all the way through this just to go down to get this? Just to come back down? Also, what is all of this stuff up here? Oh, I have to go to all of these places? Holy shit. Wait. Okay, that was weird. Okay. Okay, come on, we got her. I feel like I'm missing something.
So, the Great Spirit's denial is what caused. So, the Great Spirit's denial is what caused this disorder. I cannot claim them if they refused me.
Ooh.
Countless people refuse you, yet they are still taken by you.
That is different.
Oh, sure. One rule for them, another for us.
Wait, there's something down here. Oh yeah, I feel like I cannot jump all the way across. Oh, no I can, okay. Should I get them one by one or should I just get them all at the same time? Oh, That was asking for trouble. Bye. Bye. Okay, so I need to go up here, but I need to go down here first and then come back up.
ZAU, this is like finding salt in a field of... Stop, please.
Okay, I need to do this. Oh. That did not work. Okay, almost. Shit. How do I get up there? I need to be able to get up there because there's something there. Can I pull you? Can I move you? Okay, that's just way too far away for me to get it. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that, hopefully. Boom. Is there more? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, at least I can fast travel and come back over here really fast if I need to. Okay, so we're gonna go straight, go all the way down and get that. Oh, how am I supposed to get over there? Okay, don't do that, don't do that. Maybe I was already supposed to get that? Okay, I don't think I'm gonna reach that. I'm gonna go the other way. Okay. I feel like I'm missing something, like, really importante. Oh shit. Fucking... That was the bullshittery. Come on down here. Bye. That's the next one. Come on. I'm just gonna stay down here until ya. Oh no. Come on. Come on. Bye. Hun, you're gonna calm down too. Bye. Bye. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't even know what I did. I just kicked their ass though. There's something over here. Wait, I want to go this way first. Come on, give me something good. Give me something good. Oh. Holy shit. Holy crap, I can't believe I did that. So usually I really suck at that.
This place is a maze, ZAU. Stop disturbing me. The time spent finding these ingredients. Stop disturbing me.
I really feel like I should have gotten this one. But I can't get across. I think I need to go up. I feel like it's easier for me to go this way. I don't know if I can get the rest without getting that first one. Okay. Where are we? Wait. How do I even get up? Oh, do I need to go this way and go up this way? Shit. So I just came all this way for nothing? No. How do I even get up there? What is happening? Why can't I get anywhere? I can't get over here. Was I supposed to learn a new skill, possibly? Increase my blast. How many points do I have? 6? Oh yeah, okay, trinkets. Gain eulogy gain from defeating enemies, no. Resistance to projectile damage, no. How do I get up there? Okay. I can't jump up here because this is too high. This is even higher. Is there a block or something? This feels weird. Let's go back and try that place one more time. Yeah, there's no way I'm reaching that. Okay. Oh. Wait, what was that? Oh, it was a thing here. How was I gonna see that?
We are on the outskirts of Kivuli. The history of the forest is ingrained within these homes.
Keep your eyes open for the ingredients. Yes, but let us just focus. Keep your eyes open for the ingredients.
Oh my god, this place is so massive. Okay. Do I need to do anything here? Do I want to change this? What is this? Juggling enemies. I don't know if I want that actually. Eulogy. Gains resistance to projectile damage. Let's change that. Because these bitches keep throwing shit at me. Okay. Wait, so I literally can't even get in there. There is something that I'm missing with that symbol. I feel like it's a I don't know, like it's like a thing you can like grapple onto. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know how to do that ability yet. You wanna come down? I was gonna throw you in that pit anyway, but I guess I killed you first. Bye, Biotch. Where's the other one? Come on down. Boom, Biatch. The hell? Oh, there's so much stuff. Oh wait, how do I get you?
ZAU, if Sabulana, a native of these woods, could not find these ingredients.
You're making art of provoking me.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna keep going this way. I don't know what's that. Oh, it's about to be another battle. Oh my god, hit him! What the fuck? I'm like stuck. Oh. Oh my lord, like this dude is not. Shit. Oh no, oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my lord. Shit. No, my lord. Okay, there we go. Shit. I don't remember. No. Oh my god. I'm literally sucking at this fight so much right now. What the fuck? What the F? Come on. Fucking shit. That was fucking intense. Oh, this is gonna be a biatch. Okay. Bye, bitch. Oops. Okay, so I need to get over there. Is there something over there for me? Nope. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait, how do I get... Oh, I need to go down here and get in there. Bye. How is that? Hi, Bushy. How are you? Oh, shit. How you doing? How was the rest of your stream? Bye, bitch. Oh, she didn't see that shit coming. Oh, wait, I don't even think I can jump in there because of this. How you doing, Bussy? Oh, I need to go down and around, maybe. Bye. Down and around to get that echo. How am I supposed... And then I must need to go like this to get there. Because I couldn't jump up there. It was good, shockingly. It looked like it was good. You were having a nice little deep conversation about the trials and tribulations of being a streamer. Do I want to go down there? Oops, no, I don't want to do that. I'm okay. Oh shit. I'm a little tired. Oh shit, it's already 1:15. Okay. I wasn't expecting it, but it's really rewarding to talk about it. I think it's very important for people to talk about it because I think that people don't realize like there's like so many things that people feel with it and nobody really talks about it. You know, it's just like, oh, I became an affiliate. I'm like, everything is great in streaming, and it's not really the case. Oh, please tell me there was a save by there. Oops, not that. It is a struggle bus. Oh, not that. Don't do that. Yeah, I feel like there's just so many things that people don't talk about, like not seeing any new followers for like for me, a lot of my followers don't happen like when I'm on stream. They're like when I'm off stream, and that's like, it feels a little odd. It sucks that I don't get to like celebrate that moment while I'm on stream with them. And they might never make it to my stream. They might just like, you know, they might just follow and never come by. You know, they don't. It's like, it's crazy. Oh, not that. But I feel like it's good to have those conversations and be like, you know, just like real and honest about the actual facts. But it's also good to just not stay stuck in that space and just like hopefully have somebody say something that like lifts you out of that space. But they follow for a reason, so that's what matters. Exactly. So I'm just like, it's better than nothing. You know, it could be nobody engaging with the channel at all. But it's just like things like that. Like people don't really talk about that stuff, you know. If you don't get any stream subs or anything like that, like people like, you know, it can be disheartening because like you were talking about before, there's a certain level of self-validation that you already have for doing this. You already feel like you have the factors that it takes to be a good streamer, right? And so you're already feeling validated in that way. But at the same time, you do still need a little bit of outside validation, whether that be a friends, whether that be new followers and community. You still need that, you know. So like if you're streaming to the void, the Twitch void that happens, it can be difficult to still keep that self-validation going. Oh shit, I can't believe I made that. You know what I find is helping me right now is like, to be honest, I just follow them, and I should have followed them a while ago because everybody's been rating them and their name has been all over other people's streams and stuff. I don't know why when Ivy did the keynote with Lo-Fi Lundy and the advice was just to keep streaming, I don't know why it just like hit a specific chord with me. So now I'm feeling very like just do it. Like you have to keep creating or doing the streams in order for people to even come by and do anything. And so like for me, sometimes I will literally not stream because I'm afraid of somebody raiding sometimes, because I just feel like my energy might not be up to par with getting a raid or things like that, or just anybody coming to stream. So I get like really stressed about that, and I'm just like, just go on, just play the game, just have fun. You're gonna play the game anyway, like she said, just stream it while you do it. So that's been, where am I going? Oh shit, now I'm stuck this way. Yeah, I followed them the other day, and I had been watching them for a while. How do I get up here? I'm down here. Holy shit. And I know that they're doing a partner push, so I've been actually getting a lot of like really good, I don't know what the word is, just like, you know, the other day I was in there because they're doing a partner push and they just told like these two really incredible stories, and I was like, wow, like they were extremely vulnerable about things that they said that they were really vulnerable about, and I was just like, yeah, like this is a person I should have been following. I feel that she inspired me to keep going, and like consistency, because you never know where it will go. Exactly. Literally, I still have her mentioning the scheduling part because everybody's been mentioning that, just having a schedule. And I just feel like I don't know if I can do a schedule. I'm just so bad with that. So who knows? Oops. Oh yeah. Okay, I got up here. Is this where I needed to go? Are you where I needed to go? Yes. Okay. Do I need to go all the way up here? I don't want to get to this tree, but she's a lot. I feel like I'm still gonna need to go up here at some point because I don't know where this boss is. Okay, let's try to get these 2 keys. Then we're gonna try to get all the way over here. And then we're gonna try to get all the way over there. Oh, see, even if I go up here, how am I even getting up? Who is that? Hi, Michael. How are you doing today? Look at you knowing my sounds already. Do you know what I found out today? This is why you gotta watch things. I found out today. Exactly. Where are these damn ingredients? Oh, wrong thing. I found out today that Anthony Starr, who is Homelander, was in Xena. When I saw the footage today, because I saw it on the View, I was blown away. I was like, you have got to be kidding me that he's been acting that long. Because Xena is a shit. I'm okay. I'm just trying to... I thought I was a little bit further in this game, so I'm trying to beat 2 games in 1 week. Is that gonna happen? Probably not. I mean, I beat Heaven's Ward, so that was off stream though. But you know, it's Thursday. I just have to get through tomorrow, and then we have the weekend. How are you doing? Do you have any special plans for the weekend? Because I know you always have something cool going on. Do I want to go this way? Do I? Yes, let's try to go get that. Am I gonna reach that? Oh, nice. I'm debating calling out tomorrow or not. You know, I used to be, at my old job, I used to be the person that they were like, I'd never seen somebody with so much work ethic, because I would always be doing something. Even if there was downtime, I'd be finding something to do. Nothing major. Gonna take the doggy to get a haircut. Nice. I cannot wait for my dog to get his stitches out on next Thursday, because he smells a little funny, and he smelled funny ever since his surgery, but I can't bathe him. What was I saying? Oh, at my old job, right? I would always be finding something to do, right? Like, I was like always that person, right? And so I don't know where the story was going. Oh, so then at some point my job just shaded the shit out of me, and literally I've never been the same, because I still have like a pretty crazy work ethic, but at the end of my last job, I was calling out so much. I had so much sick time, and I used every single bit of it, because I was like, I hate this job. I hope your dog feels better. Thank you. He's doing good. I definitely noticed a difference, because TMI, he was having a really hard time pooping for a really long time, and I didn't realize how much of a hard time it was until after the surgery, when I saw him poop, and it basically just came out like nothing, and I was like, oh my god. Yes, well wishes to your dog, Prince. Yes, exactly. He's doing good. Stressing me out a little bit, because he's not supposed to be like jumping up and down, and he keeps jumping up and down on my couch when I'm like doing something. Like, I can't keep picking him up and picking him down to go down. So, but otherwise he's doing good. I think he's like stressed out. Oh shit. Nope. See that? It must be a grapple over there. Can I do something with that? Yeah, but he's doing good. He's almost done with most of his medicine. He just has like 3 more days of the antibiotics. But he was basically been the same ever since, like still jumping around like crazy, which he shouldn't be doing. Still has a lot of energy, still running around, still basically doing everything the same. So that was my biggest fear. And I also thought, like, you know, sometimes they say that your dog changes when they get neutered, so I was like concerned that was gonna happen, but he's the same little brat. Good. I'm worried about my dog's fiber intake. Luckily he likes lettuce, so I feed him that, a lot of water too. So I was feeding him, first I started wetting his dry dog food. But then I was also giving him this other food that was like from a can, like every now and then, because I knew it would help him poop. So I would get that, and then I would cook like these like a can of like peas and carrots, and then I would mush it up and mush it with the other foods to just kind of get some fiber and vegetables in there. And he liked that, and I'm still probably gonna do it. But I already noticed the difference so much, and I still try to give him, like right now I'm still wetting his dry dog food because I have so much of it. But I feed him like 3 times a day, so then one day one of his meals is always like a wet meal, so it'll be like a little Caesar pack. Also, dogs know when to be active. I think it's more of us instigating the activity, but it's good to have him chill maybe after his course of antibiotics is done. Yeah, so he's been like, he knows when it's time to walk. Like he's like, dude, when are you walking me? What is taking so long? And then but he's been like pretty knocked out, just like really just like sleeping a lot. Like usually even at night he doesn't, like I'll pick him up and I'll put him on my bed to sleep, but he doesn't stay on my bed. At some point he'll just like jump off, but he's been like staying knocked out in my bed in the same position, basically taking up my whole bed. So he's been good. Okay, I'm just not gonna make that, so let's go the other way. Oh. Oh, did you just hit me? If you hit me one more time. What is this? Okay, this was the elevator. So there's something very close by that I can get. So let's get that first. Look at the scenery, so beautiful. Oh, he's healing away your love. He's been very, thank you. He's been very, very clingy lately. So yesterday, I put a picture on my Twitter. He was just laid out between me and a pillow, like laid out on his side. The whole, like my whole beginning half of my shift for like 6 hours just lay there, did not move. I mean, he usually doesn't do that. He's like a very like restless dog. He like gets up and moves around a lot, but he's been like knocked out lately. Is that the flower?
Yes, this must be.
Oh, is it dead?
Yes, this must be. Oh, no, no. There must be more. The key for flowers. They're wilted. There must be more elsewhere. Enough of this, ZAU.
Oh.
We must return.
What are you? Oh. Oh. What is happening? A new enemy?
Enough of this. You are becoming reckless. You are making a habit of being led by your emotions, acting erratically instead of rationally. Even just now, you could have gotten yourself killed, obsessing over a flower instead of being aware of the dangers around you. You keep disturbing me. Every time I'm trying to focus, I cannot think. You keep talking about how this is foolish, a waste of time. I am trying to make you see sense, ZAU. You are wasting your time trying to stop the inevitable. The inevitable? That is your problem. You only see the end. Death for all. The inevitable. You have no care for us. We are just inconveniences to you. Idlers who perform in this meaningless cycle of creating false hopes, dreams, in order to justify our lives. But it is you who are an inconvenience. The one God that everybody fears. The one that everybody hates. The idler God who takes and takes and takes. You want to claim my friends, my family, my Baba. You feel nothing. Not for anyone. Not for Liliana, not for Sabulana.
Oh, this is intense.
Not from me. I'm going to perform my duty as shaman. No, I'm going to perform my duty as shaman, and I will heal Sabulana. You see this flower? It was planted, so it must grow naturally elsewhere in these treetops.
I will find the key for flower. I will find the other ingredients, and then I will deliver your spirits, and you will deliver my Baba. Then we are done.
If that
Yeah, Kalunga can get it.
must.
He can get it. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. What is this? This is the Namib. Okay, is it the other creatures? This is a new creature, Rohoya Uwendaji. These names ain't crazy. Known for their agility and dexterity while using the spear. Easily underestimated in combat. These hunters were at the front lines of many hunts in battle. They now remain as fractured spirits, driven by unattainable hunts existing for the catch they can never get. Oh, what is this? Impundulu? Oh, this was the first boss that we fought. Oh, can I? It's like above me. Can I get there? Kind of Silver Fox too. Yeah, Silver Fox, even though I don't know if they, I think they just have the beard. Oh yeah. How am I getting up there? How do I get to these other places? I feel like I'm missing an ability. What is happening here? Ooh.
Sabulana's home. She was trying to concoct the remedy. Her research is all here in the scrollings. The Owunga leaf, nestled in the fluttering boughs. Furaha berries, lurking in the gleaming haven. The Kifo flower, found in all its elegance in the center of Kivuli. Or naturally growing in the grove of effigies. Bless you, Sabulana. I will find them. A shaman of Kivuli you truly are. I will find them, Sabulana. I promise you.
I feel like we're not gonna get to her in time. And I feel like that is the lesson he needs to learn. Oop, there's an ad break. I will be right back. Let me take a break. Alright, girl. So. No. No. I wonder if she's gonna chase me when I get out of the room. Oh. Scared the fucking shit out of me, Junie. Oh. Oh, wait. Oh no, she can see me. Oh, no! Okay. I wish there was some sort of map or compass. Like, literally, I have no idea where I'm going. Did I get stuff from breaking up anything? Not down by the dock. Where are you? Oh. Girls, your lingerie, because that ain't gonna do nothing for me. You are not getting any hanky-panky from me. None.
Well,
No! Damn it. Damn it! Cha! This is our first match. We haven't had any matches yet. I have not died in utter embarrassment this whole time. Okay, we're back. And also, like I do every time, I forgot to give Bussy a shout out. Please go follow Bussy if you're not watching them. I mean following them. I don't know how to type or anything today.
Did you?
Oh, I love
clip
this game.
that?
I don't know what's going on with my...
That's what
It looks
the
like my
clip
bot is like freezing like crazy. It's freezing on the other scene. I also can't hear what it's saying. Greetings, Earthling. Bus, the cozy yet unhinged witch of streams. Here, celebrating diversity in the digital cosmos with a prideful glow. They've been last seen crafting magic in the Pokemon Platinum universe. Whether it's a Juneteenth jubilation or a Pride Month
Why are
parade,
looking
their
up
space
like
is a
that?
safe nebula for all. Engage with Buzz for a warp into queer coziness meets chaotic charm. It's out of this world. LGBTQIA plus dots. Exactly. Please go follow Buzzy if you're not following them. Ugh, I just got done with Little Nightmares too. So proud of myself. I cannot wait for number 3. Cannot wait. What am I doing right now? Do I need to go down there? Shoot. I do kind of need to go down there because I need to get to this tree. Let's do the tree first. Shit, that's what I... Boom, bitch. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Well, I can go this way. Or I can go... Let's try going this way because I want to see what happens. Oh! Bitch. I'm so lazy to reload my volcano bag. Of course. You guys gotta remind me, this is a one-man show. I ain't got no mods and nothing. So you gotta remind me to give the shoutouts. What is your volcano bag? What is that, Michael? Oops. Ouch. Oh shit. Boom, bitch. Oh, vaping is a weed instead of a bong. Got it. Oh. Oh, I can't see shit. I hate when I can't tell. There we go. I'm just gonna keep shooting it from up here. The flowers are heated into a chamber, into a bag. Wow. That sounds very fancy. Oh. You keep touching me, biatch. Okay, there we go. There we go. Ooh. It seems like a far drop. Oh, how can I get up there? Maybe I'll get there on the way back. Oops. No. Damn it. Damn it. I can't get that second jump. One of my best purchases, none of the inhalation of lighter fluid, but I do appreciate a good blunt here and there. I'm digging the art style of this game. Art style is so good. Also, the person, this is something else that I just learned. The person that created this game is a character in House of Dragons. I don't know which character they are. I don't know if they were there last season or if they're just there this season. But they're in House of Dragons. I haven't been watching this new season yet. I didn't even know it came out, to be honest. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch, once the whole season is done, I'm gonna binge it, and then I'm canceling my Max because I don't watch it. Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna go. Maybe I'll get to that at some other point. Wait, what is happening here? Okay. Is that a continuation of Game of Thrones? And I think House of Dragons, I think, is a story like thousands of years before Game of Thrones, the story that happens in Game of Thrones. Yeah, let my Max in Disney Plus, not renew. See, I gotta keep my Disney Plus because I got the niece and the nephew. And they have all the Marvel stuff. But Max really has nothing I care for. To be honest, I would probably get rid of all of them except for Disney and Netflix. Oh, did I just get a new ability? What was that? That was not the same thing. I knew it. I knew it. So while these hook press are too near, hook points to launch ZAU towards them. Thank God I came over here because I was about to not come over here and I would have been struggling. Now I think. Oh, I like that. I've only kept Paramount Plus. See, I don't like Paramount Plus. Is there a hook over here? I think there's a hook on the other side. There's like nothing on Paramount Plus for me except for, like my nephew watches the Sonic stuff. Oh, can I do it with anything? Oh yeah. And then Amazon, but I have Prime, exactly. Like that's the only reason I have Prime, because I have the damn service. But I have Peacock too. I want to get rid of Peacock. I have YouTube TV, and I don't really watch it anymore. I used to watch MSNBC a lot, but now I'm basically just using it to watch The View. Oh. bitch. Come on. I'm letting my peacock end too. Was a good Thanksgiving deal. I don't even know. What is that there? I didn't even know there was anything up here. Oh, wait. I just feel like that show has nothing on it. Oh. Oh, it's the other one. There we go. Okay. Ooh, that was some fancy ass flying. I love this. Nope. I think the whole year for 25 bucks. That is a good deal. Holy shit, that's intense. Oh, fucking crap. Bye. No! Oh! What the hell was that? Oh, well, he's dead. Bye. Come on, who else wants it? Come on, little biatch. Where am I? Ah! Oh my god. Oh shit, that was insane. That was very intense. Anything over here? No. Oh. Okay, save point. We like that. Boom, biatch. Bye.
The grove of effigies. This is where I will find the Kifo flower.
Bye. I love that move. Where do I go? Where am I going? Oh my god. Oh, that was intense. Holy shit. Cannot believe I did that on my first try. Okay, we did it, we did it. We almost there. Did we get it? Did I got it? There we go.
There, the Kifo flower. More ingredients to find. I'm not done yet. There, the
Oh shit.
To find. I'm not done yet.
Oh no, this is intense. No! Boom, bitch. Ooh. Ooh?
You see? When you're not disturbing me.
He just got
I can
told
handle
off.
myself
Okay, now
just
we're gonna
fine.
go down this way. Get the other ingredient. Those dudes are pretty intense, though. Okay. I hate that I can't see what's on the bottom so that I'm not just falling into a pile. Oops, like that. Oops, didn't hit that button fast enough. Oh my god, I'm not hitting that button at all. There we go.
Let us talk about what happened. It is not good to let hostile words linger in the air. ZAU, let us talk about what happened. It is not good to let hostile words linger in the air.
Oh,
Let them.
he is mad.
Very well.
Okay, let's go down this way. Nope, further in. Oh, something was trying to get me. Too late, honey babushka. Oh shit. Boom. They all coming for me. Wait. Oh. Wait, I need to go back up. Shit. That's what I get for talking shit.
The Gleaming Haven. Home of the Furaha berries.
Bitch. Boom. Oh. Not that fucking light scaring the shit out of me.
There. Furaha berries. There. Furaha berries.
Okay. I just dropped so far down. Okay, I need to go this way though. Oh yeah, let's get him. Get him from over here, it's okay. Oh. Let's get that berry, yes.
Baba used to say old remedies are some way faster. Furaha berries.
Wise words.
Baba used to say old remedies are in some way.
Pound, you just went live?
Wise
It's
words.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Let us keep moving.
Can I just fast travel to this? Or do I need to be at a fast travel point? I think I need to be at a fast travel point. Okay, let's try to get back up here so we can just fast travel down there. And then we can leave. Damn, I only found one of the echoes. I'm sucking at finding shit here. So I want to go back up. Shit. Oh, snap. I almost died. Okay. I'm running. Let's get to that fireplace so we can fast travel somewhere. Okay, it's right here. It's right here, son. There we go. Oh, so nice. Boom. Okay. Oh. I don't even remember this area.
Fluttering boss. I could find the Onwongo leaf here.
Wait, how do I get up there? Hi. Oh yeah. Oh, we got all three.
There, an Onwongo leaf. We have all the ingredients. I understand little of its nature, but I know it is not native to these lands. We have all the ingredients. We need to return to Sabulana.
Oh yeah, bitch. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it with me. Okay, let's get out of here.
Zuendaji spirits have been persistent, ZAU. This has been the third time they have intervened. Their behavior...
Okay. Figure out how we're getting down. Is this where we're going? Yes. Oh, I have to go down this way. And what's that? What? Wait, is that the way I need to go? Yes. Okay. What was over here? I don't see nothing now. I hate that I can't see the bottom. Oh, there was nothing there. I could have just dropped down. Oh, this is about to be a really intense moment. Let me tell you, Michael, about cheesecake. First off, I've been craving it for a while, but the deli, there's like a nicer restaurant by my house that sells it for $7. I'm like, I'm not paying $7 for it. But I feel like, I don't know why I've been seeing this commercial for strawberry cheesecake Haagen-Dazs, and I need to get to a supermarket and have it. Oh. Is there another one? No. So, I get that. I want cheesecake badly too. What the fuck? Oh. I guess I need to go down and around. Ugh. Oh shit. Boom. Let's get them on the same side to get rid of them. Let's get them on the same side and get rid of them. Wait, there was something. I think there was something over here I didn't get. Oh, well, there was that. Yep, there was something over here I did not get. Oh?
The mark of greatness, but upon a different kind of challenge.
I don't know, it's like this size.
True test of the dance.
Like my whole finger, the whole triangle that my hand is making. I feel like that's too small for me for $7. Like I'm only getting a few bucks out of, I'm only getting a couple bites out of that. Okay, I think we're doing this. Well, I don't know. Okay, there we go. Ah! Come on, we almost got him. Boom. Come on, we almost got him. Oop. Oop. Okay. Come on. Boom, bitch. Oh! Oh, they bouncing now. No! Oh my god. Ah! Okay. Oh my god. This is like intense. Okay. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh, my eyes are burning. Ugh, do I want to keep doing these? I don't want to keep going to these right now. I want to get to Sibilana. Oh yeah. I added a sound to that so that I actually knew that that was actually happening. Ooh. Oh my god. Am I getting to her? Yes. Okay. It's about to be a sad moment, I feel it.
Sabulana, here. The ingredients you asked for.
You did it. ZAU,
Sabulana, here. Stop. The ingredients you asked for.
you did it. ZAU,
I cannot do it as good as you. Stop. Please. You should make the remedy. You know that I cannot do it as good as you.
do not make me laugh. It hurts. You are a good soul, ZAU. You have always been a good soul.
Make the remedy. We will get you back on your feet. Then I might have to ask a favor of you.
What kind of favor, old friend?
You say the Great Spirit is lost. I intend to find them, heal them, in exchange for my Baba's soul. He was wrongfully taken by the God of Death.
The god of death.
Yes, I travel with him now.
The tale. The three great spirits.
Yes, Sabulana. So far, I have guided Impundulu, the Great Spirit of the Sky. I intend to do the same with the Great Spirit that resides here.
Can you help
I
me?
will instruct you on what First, let us make this tonic. I will instruct you on what to do.
Yes, of course.
Take the ongo leaf. Place it in the palm of your hand.
Right. And then?
The berries. Place them within the leaf. Fold
This does not feel good.
over them.
Okay. Am I doing it right?
Perfectly. Now, grip the flower and take a deep breath in. Can you smell that? Yes. Smell defeat.
Oh,
Disappointment. The stench of your father's last thoughts as you fail to save him.
ZAU, step away from her.
What kind of shaman fails his father, his friend? You are nothing but a worthless boy. A failure.
Why are you saying all this? Stop. Stop it.
And now you reek of fear.
that definitely escalated.
Holy better for consumption. I will consume you. And I will.
Oh,
I will consume you.
where am I moving to? Oh. Am I not supposed to go towards the light?
ZAU, come back! Hear my voice! Find me!
Oh my god, is this a boss battle? Shit.
Kalunga! Kalunga!
Oh. Can't fall in that. Oh. Holy shit. That's intense. Oh shit. Oh my god. I can't tell where it's coming from and it's going so fast.
I do not want to die.
Where am I supposed to go? Oh shit, no. Oh my god. I didn't see that fucking thing. Damn. Okay. This is intense.
Please, please, please. No, no.
Oh shit. No. Oh fuck. Oh my god. This is hard. Oh my gosh.
No, 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 please.
Joe, keep moving. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, where am I supposed to go? Where was I supposed to go? Shit.
No, please.
Where am I supposed to go from here? Shit. I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. Come on. What am I supposed to do here? I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
You cannot outrun.
Oh no. Okay. I feel like I'm missing something very important right here. Oh shit. No! Oh fuck. How am I supposed to know that happened so fast? There's like so little time to see if we can get out of this. This might have to be done in the next stream because I need to be going to sleep. Feel it? I literally cannot take my eyes off the fucking buttons right now.
I do not want to die.
Okay. I don't remember this point where I had to turn back around. Oh.
This is.
I can't tell if it's still chasing me.
I have to get out of here.
And there's no thing here. There's no map. What is that?
Think you can hide from me?
Oh, I didn't like that.
You are in my world now, boy. You are just delaying the inevitable.
What was that thing? Where am I going?
Sabulana, what happened to you? What did it do to you?
I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going. Oh, definitely not that way.
Thank the gods. A shaman tried.
What is happening? Please let this be the end of this. I think I just got a power. Taoist heart, wearing the sun mask, press R1 to release an energy that disassembles constructs. Wearing the moon mask. And pressing R1 assembles constructs.
Right. Breaking, reforming. I can use this. Now, right. I just need to get out of here. Breaking, reforming. I can use this. Now.
Use Taoist hearts on constructs, ancient structures of power. Contracts glow when ZAU is next to them, wearing a sun mask and using Taoist heart releases the energy that disassembles formed constructs. Wearing the moon mask and using Taoist heart releases an energy that assembles unformed construct. I don't like the crying.
I can smell the fear on you. A sweet scent that you cannot smother.
But what can I even do here?
You are still here.
I can't even go anywhere. Why would I come down here? There's no thing over here. Oh, wait. There we go. Oh. Oh.
Why do you run from me? You want your baba, do you not?
Come on. Can we, like, please get out of here? Oh. Okay.
What did Baba say about fear? God, why? Why can I not remember? He would know what to do.
Oh shit. Oh no, it's chasing me again. No. Oh shit, I'm dead. Please start from there. Okay. Holy shit. This is intense. Oh shit. What the fuck? Ah, shit! I'm gonna keep on this one because I feel like that's the one I need more. Fuck, I keep missing that first jump. Oh. Oh my god. I keep missing that first job. What time is it? I need to be getting asleep. Oh my god. Ugh, I messed that up. Holy shit, I almost fucked that up. Come on, come on. Let this be done, because I'm over it. Come on, we're almost there. Holy shit, come on.
That is what Baba said. Strike true to the heart of fear. Do not run.
Oh shit, this is a boss. Hey there, Lita, how are you? Thank you, I appreciate that. Oh my god, what's happening right now? Holy shit. Can I go down? Oh, no. Oh my god, I can't get down. Thank you for the lurk, Lethal. I appreciate it. Oh. Did I just fuck that up? Oh shit. shit. Oh shit. Oh shit, no. No. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Oh my god. Get off of that. What the fuck? Oh fuck! I didn't even see that I was falling on that shit. Fuck. Come on, I got this. I got this. I got this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit, thank God. Whew. That was fucking intense. Whew. Some air horns for that. Oh. Whew. That was really hard. That was so good though.
I tried to call for you.
What happened?
Sabrana was never in front of you. It was a
So intense.
illusion manifested by Kikyon, the corrupted great spirit of nature. I confess I should have seen it. I never once sensed its presence.
I'm surprised I got through that in that fast because I'm usually not good at that.
Manipulate you to prey on your fear.
I see. Why am I so bad at this? The choices I make, they're always wrong. When Baba was here, it was safe. There was no pain, no tricks, no lies. It was safe. The world is hurting.
Oh no.
It is hurting me. It hurts so much.
It can feel that way sometimes. That the world is unfair, set against you in every way possible. But the world is capable of giving more than it takes. And I know you see it, because I have learned that from you. You are where you are now because of the choices you made. From what the world has given you, I see before me a strong, brave, and intelligent young man who chooses to champion hope over despair. I see that. And I must see you for who you are, ZAU. I must.
Where do we go now?
Two spirits.
Where do we go now?
We must proceed to the old junction by the forest bridge. The path to the Deadlands and the village of Ichoka begins there. It is in those harsh lands we will find the
See, I feel like I'm really much closer to the end than it says. It said I was only 25% through.
Yes, ZAU.
Thank you.
Where's the map? I need to go over here. Let's try going to the new place and then I'm gonna call it because, you know, I can be sleepy tomorrow. It's fine. It's the last day of work. I can make it through. How much further is it? Oh shit. I literally almost fell on that again. Okay. Yeah, try. I don't know what he was trying to do, honey babushka. Oh, let's get this. No. Okay, so we're gonna go down. Shortcut unlocked. Oh, that was that bridge that I couldn't get to before. I think I need to go this way. Oh, almost walked right into that. I think we need to go up this way. Oh, what? That was bullshit. Why is it killing me like that? Let's give it a second this time. Okay, that was weird. That was killing me for absolutely no reason.
Up there, ZAU. The path to the Deadlands and the village of Itshoka.
I wonder what new traps they're gonna have for me up here.
I can see you have discovered the powers of Tower's heart. I can see you have discovered the powers of Tower's heart.
Yes, I obtained it in a nightmare. Without it, I would have perished.
Peculiar shaman. It is a great and mysterious gift. Tower was a peculiar shaman. A believer of breaking and reforming as a means of healing. To rebuild, to unravel. The belief that by having total understanding of the elements around you, you would have total understanding of the self.
Okay, this story.
Power responsibly, ZAU. It is home to the mighty Itshokans and the great spirit. The old woodlands bleed into the Deadlands. It is home to the mighty Itshokans and the great spirit of mankind. This is the final great spirit, ZAU.
Oh,
And then you will return my Baba.
we all know that that's a lie.
I will return your Baba.
This is all a journey for him to discover that he can't have him back. Oh, look at this place. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at this map. Okay, we're gonna get to this point and then we'll see what happens.
Mount Itshoka. I hear it is named from the tribe. Or, well, maybe the tribe is named after the mountain?
Many tell tales of the mountain. It was once mighty. Its fire so hot that it could turn the deserts to glass. Then the mountain fell drowsy, dormant. So much power takes a heavy toll.
It seems like the mountain is finally waking up then. It has to be the Great Spirit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is trying to get me to go all the way up there, which is crazy. Definitely not gonna do that now. This looks so beautiful though.
God, look at the heat coming off of those springs and geysers.
Oh,
Consequence of the mountain.
God, look at the heat coming off of those springs and geysers.
oh, that's gonna be the new thing.
Be careful. This is not for swimming.
Oh, oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, my camera looks fucking crazy. I need to fix it for tomorrow or the next time I stream. Okay. Let's turn this off because see, it says I'm only, let's go back to this so I can show you. It says I'm only 50% through, but there's only 3 god. This is the last god. So what is the rest of the 50% of the game? I feel like we're gonna have to do this last area. This last area will be like up to 75%, and then the last 75%, well, 75% to 100 is gonna be like the final journey, like him fighting the last, I guess, the god of death, which is him. Okay, you're a little loud, honey babushka. Maybe it's a game you finish and there's post content. I don't know. Sometimes it's weird because I definitely remember, like with Spider-Man, it was showing me that like I had a different percentage done here where, well, let me show you, where it says it's 50%. this was a different percentage than what was said in the game file. Because I think the game file included the side missions, whereas this didn't include the side missions. But I'm like, if we're already doing the last boss, what it sounds like is the last boss, how is there still another 50% of the game? So anyway, I don't know when I will be streaming again. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? I might be meeting Ivy Molina tomorrow, but who knows? Let's do this. Hold on. And let's do this. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna end for today. Wait, is that what is on my screen right now? No. Okay. I'm gonna end for tonight. Have fun with it. The night is taking me to bed. I gotta be up in less than 6 hours. Yeah. So I'm going to bed right now, even though I know I'm not gonna fall asleep because for some reason, when I stream late at night, I just get like really like, so yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'm meeting with Ivy tomorrow. Hopefully. I don't know what we're doing. But it'll be fun. Thank you for everybody that came in today. Jay Miller, Evil King, Bussy, Pound, Michael, Lethal. I appreciate it so much. I know it's super late, and I really appreciate it. So thank everybody for hanging out. And I hope you have a great and easy day tomorrow so that you can have a beautiful weekend. We can allow this. Okay. Thank you as well, Michael. And I will see everybody soon. Have a great night. Bye.